She's not the asshole, she's the asshole tamer. That 8-year-old girl is the asshole. And she learnt her lesson. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are
Yeah.
you?
I'm no bars, so signal check wise.
Yeah, signal check. I'm no bars too, which is so sad for us.
Yeah, yeah. I know it's been a bit of a shit week, but we move and yeah, hopefully next week we've got a bit more good news and energy.
Yes, exactly. And also next week it's the end of Jan, I think.
Yeah. Next Sunday it's the 1st of Feb. I'm looking forward to a good February. Also next weekend we're celebrating Alex's birthday, which is gonna be fun. It's having a
Oh
party.
yes. Oh my God, yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, exactly. So next week is going to be better. But to be fair, January hasn't been as bad this year as other ones. Like we've had quite a few sunny days.
Yeah, the sun has been out, even though it's
Yeah,
freezing.
so cold, but we have at least had that sunshine cutting through the cold days, which really does help.
Yeah, but what was that stat that you told me the other day about
Oh
vitamin
yeah.
D and how we're just never, ever, ever going to be okay if
Yeah,
we're
so
never.
there's so there's a website where you can go, it's like a global website where you just put in the area or the country that you live, and it tells you how many days you need to stand outside in order to get enough vitamin D. So it's based on how many sunny days that you have in that country, yeah, and just how many you'd need. If you put in the United Kingdom, there's no amount of days in a year that you need to be able to stand outside to be able to get that vitamin D. We can't do it. We simply don't get enough sun. So all that to say, take your vitamin D supplements. And anytime there is sun, we need to be soaking it up.
You sound like Drew Barrymore. Any chance you get to stand
In the
outside in the
rain.
rain?
No, true. It's true though. It's true. We need to recharge, get as much as we can, especially if you're a person of color or a black person. We really do. I think we are all vitamin D deficient just by
Mm.
nature of, I think it's harder with melanin or something like that. I don't know the science, but yeah, just take your supplements, guys. It really helps actually. Last year, towards the end of the year, I think around September time, I started religiously taking vitamin D. I was doing it during the summer as well, but
Mm.
it was more to prepare for winter to have that stock supply in my body for when it got to the dark, cold days that just make you feel so depressed when you only get 4 hours of sun of light, really.
Mm.
And I did notice a difference. It could have been placebo, but placebo, hey, that's just as valuable. If you feel an
Exactly.
impact, then you feel an impact. But yeah, so for that reason, I don't think January has been the worst one this year. And also, there is a different energy in the year. I feel like people are trying to be more hopeful about this year. And I don't know if it's because we have no other choice and because last year was so shit for a lot of people and we've all just had a kind of a collective bad time in recent years. And it's like, no, listen, we have to start enjoying something now. But not everyone, but I'm seeing a lot of people say that they feel a shift this year. And I'm just going to go along with that
Yeah,
because,
please.
yeah,
I am as well. Let's manifest good things, good vibes.
yeah,
Be
yeah.
optimistic. Anyway, how's your weekend? What did you get up to?
It's been a really quiet one, actually, just how I like it. I really needed a quiet weekend this weekend. And to be fair, it hasn't really felt very restful. As much as I've been chilling, I haven't really felt chill. And I think that just goes to show that I've needed a break for a long time and I still need more, but unfortunately it's back to the grind tomorrow, today being Sunday, back to the grind on Monday. But the weekend has been catching up on shows, EastEnders being one.
Oh, good. What do you think of what's been going on?
Yeah, it was, I mean, all I'm seeing is Max. I'm still like 2 episodes behind. So I've
Okay.
seen the whole Jasmine reveal, which I think it was kind of obvious that it
Yeah.
was her. Yeah, it wasn't really much of a shock. Why she has the video recording on her phone? I
That
don't know.
that was the shock. The shock was why do you have busy video evidence and why are you showing
Right.
it to a corpse?
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I hate when I'm watching EastEnders and Will's there who's so bloody judgy of
Oh,
EastEnders and then they show scenes like that. I'm like, it's not
we
always like this.
also we don't watch EastEnders expecting it to be good TV.
Exactly.
We watch it for precisely the opposite reason. It's just entertaining and it's also just habit at this point and it's familiar and it's comforting. And Yeah, sometimes it is good.
Yeah.
This year, not so much. I think ever since the whole 40th year anniversary thing, they just lost sight of what they were doing, and it's been kind of hard to get through. But I'm hopeful that they're coming out of it as well. 2026 is
Yeah.
going to be good for everyone. But speaking of Jasmine, I actually saw her like last weekend. I saw her in Covent Garden, the
Oh
actress.
wow.
And I was like, do I say hi? And I was like, nah.
I need to go to. Can you tell Jasmine to delete that from her phone?
Literally, it was
She
before
doesn't
I'd
want
even
to
seen it. But I was gonna be like, who's your brother?
know.
When is that coming up? Are we bringing that up again? Like, what are they waiting for that? That's the reveal I'm waiting for when they bring her twin brother on the scene.
Honestly, the storylines, I'm just like, I don't even know if you guys remember which
Yeah,
ones that you brought up or not.
exactly that. I think they seem to just forget the threads. But yeah, so my weekend's been EastEnders, reading, did a bit of reading, did a bit of
Nice.
writing. Yeah, it's really just been quite quiet, a lot of chatting on the phone. Yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I've had a chill one as well. I don't know if I told you I sat down with my budget spreadsheet and looked at the numbers and, you know,
Mm.
sort of trying to sort my finances out. So I have been trying to actively have quiet weekends in Jan, not always going out, not always spending loads of money on food and takeaway and dinner and a bottle of wine and all of that sort of stuff, which does sound pretty depressing, to be honest. But I think sitting down with my spreadsheet was like, okay, there's room for that, not to the
Mm.
extent that I did for many, many years before. There's space for a bit of both. Yesterday, I actually did some shopping in my wardrobe, which was
Ooh.
obviously I'm trying to be more sensible with money. That's my big goal of 2026. And I was doing a big clear out of my shoes and my jackets. I didn't actually put anything aside to give to charity or to put on Vinted.
Oh, you kept everything. So what do you mean by a clear out?
It was more just a reorganization because I was so determined that I did not need that many jackets. But when I
Mm.
looked through all of the jackets, I was like,
Let me tell
yeah,
you something. You need every single jacket, and you can never have enough. You can never have I ordered two new jackets this week, and I'm like, I only want one because I want one that's like good for going out and stuff. Both of them are good for going out in their own ways
that's
and
the
with their own
thing.
styles and with different outfits. So I might just have to keep both because they're both offering a different thing.
I support it fully.
So
I
you do need all those
I
jackets.
do. And I managed to put it in a way where, okay, everything fits so much nicer. I can access things nicer. I did an audit again of like, okay, like maybe I don't need an extra leather jacket because I realized I've got four and that's not necessary. No, five actually. I looked at my leather jackets, I've
Uh,
got five. And I was like, okay, so that it scratched a shopping itch as well because I was like, I did
mm,
not remember I had this
yes.
jacket.
Yes. And it's so funny. You can tell when someone's on a clear out because they just start wearing things that you've never seen in their wardrobe before. And it's suddenly just on a cycle, just a whole new fresh batch of things. That is such a good shout. I really have avoided going into that wardrobe of mine because I have the biggest wardrobe of life. It's so big. It basically spans the whole one wall. Like a sliding door mirrored wardrobe spans the whole one wall of my room, filled to the brim with things that I don't need anymore. But I am avoiding doing that clear out so badly. I kind of feel like I need someone to be here when I do it. Do you know what? Maybe one day you're gonna come round and we'll play music and chat, and you can just sit there while I clear out my wardrobe and you can tell me what to keep and what to leave.
Yes, and what's coming home with me? Because there will certainly be things coming home with me.
But no, that's really good. That's really good. I need to do a reorganization as well. That's a big task that I'm putting off. But yeah, you've been in the flow. Last week, clothes organized and clear out. This week, shoes and jackets. You must be completely set now. Or
Honestly,
do you need to do like a makeup clear out, jewelry?
do you know what's so funny? That was my first clear out. So it actually started with my shelves
Wow.
where I looked at all of my makeup products, all of my hair products, and did a whole
Hmm.
clear out and rehaul. And you know what they say about a ball in motion?
An object in motion stays in motion.
Yes, exactly. So I'm just
Yeah,
keeping it every weekend. I'll sort out something.
very
I
good.
don't know what I have specifically right now. I've got rooms that I want to like revamp and make it look nice because I feel
Mm.
when you move into like I've lived in this flat since March now, but when you move in, you first move in, you unpack and you add your little touches. That for those first couple of weeks, that's when that happens, and then doesn't happen ever again. And now I'm just like, oh, I should probably like put some photos up, do some more like personalizations.
Yeah, I think you actually need more time than we think to be in a space and understand what kind of finishing touches that it needs and what kind of styling it needs. So I do know that you do the unpacking in that initial bit when you first move in, but then there's usually 6 to 12 months down the line where you do a whole kind of rejig and you start adding. I don't know. I've had those kind of. You do get sudden urges
Yeah,
randomly throughout the year to do those decorating, and at this point now you actually know how you interact with the space and what you need from it
exactly.
and where the light comes in and where do you spend the most time and yeah.
And where does it make sense for objects to be? And
Hmm.
especially with our furniture, a lot of our furniture is just like cobbledy mismatched from
Mm.
family or from friends or from neighbors. It's just like
Or from
cobbled
different places
together.
you've lived over the years. That's like,
Exactly.
yeah,
So,
yeah. But it's true,
yeah.
like, but you don't necessarily know what kind of storage solutions you need for this place, and so yeah, that's gonna be fun when you do get to that point. It'll be good to do it around before spring and into summer and stuff, so you can host and have people around. And
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of hosting, um, Brooklyn Beckham's wedding.
Brooklyn Beckham hosted a party, also known as a wedding, where his mum grinded on him or something.
You're normally so good at making the transitional links into the next show.
Speaking of hosting, Brooklyn Beckham hosted a tea spilling session on his Instagram last week where he laid out a statement spanning, I think it was like 7 stories,
Yeah.
tapped across 7 times, all white text on black background. Look at what my family and parents have been doing to me my whole life. Victoria Beckham winded. What's
Wound.
the what's the past tense of wine? Wound. Victoria Beckham did not wound on him.
Victoria Beckham winded.
Whined. I think it's just whined. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's just
it's
yeah.
wind. Yeah, shit.
Victoria Beckham whined on him. The memes and the videos and the AI
So
videos and
funny.
pictures of Victoria at the wedding because she does know how to still a moment, and we kind of have to love her for it. I don't know. Toxic rich families and boy mums.
Honestly, it so reminded me of that show, the one with the mum and the girlfriend called Cherry.
The Girlfriend
The
on Amazon
girlfriend.
Prime. Did you
Yes.
watch that?
Yes, you told me to
Have we
watch it and
spoken
I
about
watched
it?
it. I don't think we did.
Wow, what a show. I really enjoyed that. It was really cool the way that so The Girlfriend on Amazon Prime, it is about a woman and her son has a girlfriend. And the story tells you kind of get both two perspectives of the same story from the girlfriend and from the mum. And in the same episode, it'll kind of split halfway into the story. And then it will go back to between each perspective. So you'll see the same scenes from each side, but also you'll see the before and after, like the context around it for each individual character. It's really good. It's really good. And it's that whole boy mum dynamic that where they feel just a weird sense of ownership and
Inside
almost yeah, and
inside
almost
someone and yeah.
mm, becomes kind of Oedipal. But did you see
The moonwalking bear.
I can't believe we didn't see the moonwalking bear.
That was so scary. Like that advert made me realize you can't watch horror movies. That is so scary.
Count how many times they pass the ball back and forth. I'm just counting the ball. Yeah, the number was this. You get it right? Cool. But did you see the moonwalking bear? Oh my God. I've never felt so betrayed by my own self.
Honestly, I've got chills thinking about it.
Seriously, I went back to watch it to play it from the beginning. I was like, that moonwalking bear was not there the first time. They put it in at the second time, thinking that they could trick us. The moonwalking bear was there every single time. That bear was moonwalking the first frame and the second. Whoa, that was crazy. But yeah, the Beckhams are in disarray and I don't like it.
I think that Victoria danced with him inappropriately. I don't think she whined on him, but I think it was inappropriate for her to dance with Brooklyn at that time.
Yeah, didn't you see that DJ? Did you see the clip of the DJ speaking on This Morning and explaining exactly what happened? It wasn't that she danced inappropriately, it's that the whole framing of the. Did you not see that
Oh, good school.
interview?
Wait, no, 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 no. The DJ at
What?
the wedding.
The DJ at the wedding. Because if you was beeping at the wedding, keep it at the wedding.
Why would he speak out? Is he allowed?
Yeah,
What
he
does he look
can.
like? Who's the DJ?
Kid, you haven't seen this? Okay, so basically, it was DJ Fat Tony. That's his name. So he's saying it was nothing to do with the type of dance. Victoria was not dancing on him or doing anything weird. It was just the fact that Mark Anthony was performing on stage. I don't know if I'm sure who Mark Anthony is, but
No.
but this is the story according to DJ Fat Tony. So Mark Anthony is performing on stage. Then he calls Brooklyn onto the stage. Brooklyn comes on stage. And then everyone's expecting Nicola is going to join him to do the dance, the first dance. But then Mark Anthony says, and to be honest, this story has been out for quite a while before Brooklyn spoke out. So I've heard this before.
Okay.
But anyway, Mark says he basically invites the most beautiful woman onto the stage.
Oh,
No,
shut up.
no, this is what happens. This is what happens. And then Mark says, so he says, the most beautiful woman in the room come onto the stage. And then he says, Victoria, come to the stage.
Oh my God.
So Victoria gets onto the stage and yeah, what she was invited on, she danced with him. It was inappropriate for you at someone's wedding to say, this is the most beautiful woman in the room, and the bride is standing right there like
Oh
bread.
my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, and apparently Nicola leaves the room crying her eyes out
Shut up on the wedding day.
on the wedding day. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. Victoria clearly is. I think there's way more to this as well in terms of dynamics. There's the boy mum dynamic, which is
Yeah.
the grossest thing ever. There's also this whole thing of like the fact that they're rich. There's things there that we can never relate to.
Mm.
They're both from rich families, Brooklyn's wife and Brooklyn. And this whole narrative about Nicola being the wedge in the family, like the new wife is the reason why Brooklyn is now speaking out against his parents, not talking to his parents. And I think what happens when you have such a toxic family is that sometimes it takes an outsider coming in to identify those patterns and to be like, wait, so why is this or why is that? Or to expose the behaviors that wouldn't have been seen before. If Victoria didn't feel threatened before Brooklyn met his life partner, why would certain behaviors be exhibited? So now that she's here, that's where it's all kind of triggering these behaviors and this realization from Brooklyn. So it's not that she's being like, don't talk to your family. I mean, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe she is, but probably for good reason when we read what's in the statement. But yeah, so there's that. And then also in the lead up to the wedding, what Brooklyn mentioned in his statement was that Victoria had committed to do the wedding dress for Nicola and she pulled out last minute. That's what
Yes.
Brooklyn alleges. Obviously Victoria has a different story, or I've seen a different side of events to that, but it just sounds like the whole wedding period and the wedding itself wasn't very enjoyable for the couple because of things that was happening with the family, Victoria namely.
Exactly. It also could be that, you know how, and this is me speaking very generally, I feel like sometimes with guys, particularly like in heterosexual relationships, the guy is able to open up a lot more with their new partner because it's a woman and she's in touch with her
Mm,
emotions and she kind of brings him to a conclusion around his family, not in a pushy way, but in like a, oh, and how did you feel about that? And what is that? And just digs a little bit deeper than maybe his relationships that he might have with like friends or his
mm.
siblings that are all in the
Yeah.
situation.
So almost like this is the first time that he's even processing it out loud and being guided to share those feelings, and then that takes you to the conclusion or that realization, not that they've gone, but don't you think that's a bit controlling, but more that the person's just being like, and then this happening, like, oh, okay, oh, really? Oh, isn't that? And then that just kind of makes you think, oh yeah, shit, yeah, what the
Exactly.
hell?
A bit like Harry and Meghan and how much he
Yes.
was vilified and but Harry's been not liking his family.
Right. And I've
So
seen that comparison a lot, actually. They are our royal family in a way, the Beckhams. We haven't heard from anyone else but Brooklyn since that statement came out. I'm hoping that more information does come out, but it does seem quite clear cut in that it is toxic, rich boy mum headed family type thing.
mm.
But yeah, it's a bit tricky. Wait, one thing I do want to ask, Cruz Beckham, have you seen who he's dating right now?
No.
Cruz Beckham is 19 or 20 years old.
Okay.
Cruz is 20. His girlfriend is 30 years old. And if you look at a picture of her, she looks like Victoria.
Shut up.
Yeah. And maybe not even just in terms of the way they look, but styling, vibe. She's giving Victoria Beckham.
What's going on in that family? Will we ever truly know?
I don't know. I don't think we will. But that's some mummy issues if I ever saw them.
Yeah, why should he do that?
And why are you, as a 30-year-old woman with a 20-year-old boy,
20-year-old. Oh, why are they?
jarring? And if you look at a picture of them together, you can see that these are not age mates.
Oh my God. How is Victoria letting this run?
Right, Victoria, she needs to put a stop to this.
Yeah,
Do what
surely.
you need to do, dance with who you need to dance with to end this relationship.
I just want Romeo to come right out and say some things because he's the one that doesn't mind to back it a little bit. He's made a
Yeah.
statement before.
Mm. He's the one who said that my parents would never block their children, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad when the family feuds, right? But don't bring us half of the information. You know what we like here. We like gist, we like full stories. Give us the whole thing
I swear
from
we
all
say this
angles.
every episode. We're like, if you're bringing it out, bring it out in its
Bring it all.
entirety.
Bring it all. Don't give me half-baked shit.
No, don't breadcrumb anything around
Exactly,
here.
exactly. But we wanted to go on to some Am I the Assholes family related.
Yes. Family Feuds edition.
Yeah, exactly. You said you had one, and I have one as well. Do you want to start with yours?
Okay, let me start with this one. Am I the arsehole family edition? My mother-in-law is giving her three kids the option to buy their whole life inheritance policies from her. These policies were created when they were minors. My husband is a CPA and decided that it was a very good financial move for us to buy his policy. He has two sisters. We will call them Sister One and Sister Two. Sister Two and her husband think it's a bad idea to buy these policies. Sister Two is a stay-at-home mum. Sister Two's husband is an oral surgeon. We will call him Bill. Sister One doesn't want to buy her policy for personal reasons. She has one son. We will call him Nephew.
Wait,
Nephew.
what the hell? Sorry, why do some people get names and some people are sister one and sister two
I
and
think
nephew?
I think the husband is Bill, as in brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
The outrage. Okay, Sister One doesn't want to buy the policy for personal reasons. She has one son, we'll call him Nephew. Nephew now has the option to buy the life insurance policy, which is in his mother, who is Sister One. I already am so confused.
I'm so confused. Also, what's buying a policy? I don't
I
get.
don't know. The other one, oh, the other day, I began explaining the situation to Nephew. Bill says that this is a bad thing to buy. Bill just needs to get rid of them. I looked at Nephew and said, would you rather get your financial advice from a dentist or a CPA? Bill was highly offended. Am I the
Do you know what?
asshole?
No, we're not doing
Augustine, I'm
this one.
so sorry.
What? Did you read it before you said it? You saw it, you saw it was short. I didn't follow a single part of that. What does it mean to buy a life insurance policy?
What the fuck is CPA?
You're kidding me that you didn't read that. You're actually kidding me. You started reading. You didn't know the answer. Nah. So do you have the long one? And is it good?
Wait, why am I actually crying? Wait, why am I actually crying?
Okay, whilst you get your long one up, I will read out mine.
Okay.
So, am I the asshole for refusing to share my lottery winnings with my family, even though I use the family numbers?
Oh my God.
I, 22-year-old male, recently won a decent amount of money in the lottery. Not a massive jackpot, just enough to be life-changing for me, pay off debts, buy a small apartment, and invest a bit. Now, for context, in my family, there's been an informal tradition for years. On my grandma's birthday, someone usually plays lottery numbers based on important family dates, birthdays, anniversaries, etc. Sometimes we play together, sometimes everyone plays on their own. There has never been an explicit agreement that if someone wins, the money gets shared. It was always treated as a fun tradition. This time I played alone with my own money, but I used those dates to be specific: grandma's birthday, month and year, my dad's birthday, and the day and month I graduated. I won. When I told my family, at first it was all celebration. Then the comments started. These are family numbers. Without the tradition, you wouldn't have won. It would only be fair to share even just a little. Some relatives are genuinely struggling financially, unemployment, debt, others aren't. I told them I'm not going to split the prize because I paid for the ticket myself. There was never any agreement to share the winnings. If I had lost, like I did many times before, no one would have reimbursed me. And money changes dynamics, and I don't want to become the family ATM. Not that I want enough to be called an ATM, but you get it. That said, I did offer to help in specific situations, like helping with a small debt once or twice, but not to divide the prize. This was seen as arrogant and selfish. One aunt even said I got rich off the family. Now, part of my family isn't speaking to me and they're treating me like I betrayed everyone. My parents are split. They say I'm technically right, but that sharing would avoid conflict. Am I the asshole for not sharing the winnings, even though I used numbers tied to my family?
That's
What do you
so,
think?
I just find that so annoying. Guys, stop coming for me. Why didn't you also put your tickets in? And also, that's not strictly true because he also used a number that wasn't part of the family numbers. He put his graduation date as well.
Hmm.
I think that I like his thing of helping some of the family that need help because that's nice. But that's so funny. They just are kicking themselves and they're just feeling jealous and feeling entitled to the winnings because I don't think if they had an agreement and it was like a syndicate, then yes, they
Hmm.
should. They're entitled to it. But I'm actually on OP's side on this one.
So they're not the asshole. My whole thing is I get why the family would be like feeling regretful and frustrated because I think the graduate numbers were part of the family numbers. Like there were family events and things that they significant dates within the family. But even still, I'm sure they do a different combination of them each time. I'm sure it's just dependent on what you want to pick at the time. Like, oh, grandma's birthday this time, dad's birthday this time, the niece's birthday next, you know? So it's not
Mm.
guaranteed that if you had put in those numbers too, you would have got it. Secondly, when he shared the news with them, I won using the family numbers. That does make it seem like we won, guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why did he
Yeah.
have to reveal one that he won, two that he used the family numbers? Because if they've all had this family tradition where it's like on grandma's birthday, someone plays the lottery using important dates, and then if one of those people on those days that played the lottery on those days say, "I won using our numbers from our family tradition," I'd be like, "Oh my God, we finally did what we've been trying to do all these years." But that was never explicitly agreed. Some people probably just assumed.
Mm.
But why make that assumption when, like you said, it's not a syndicate type thing where it's like if it was like everyone put in £2 each and we get like a number of lottery tickets and we use all of these combination of dates, then yeah, that's easily and very clearly meant to be split. But if one person went, oh my God, guys, on this occasion, the combination of important dates that we used from the family tradition actually worked out for me, then instead of jumping to celebrate, you need to sit and wait to find out what they want to do with their winnings. And now it's
Yeah,
on the person to tell you what they're willing to share, if anything. And for
exactly.
him saying, I'm willing to pay off some debts, one or two debts here, that's really, really kind and generous. I'm willing to help you with your debt journey, which you never would have gotten if I hadn't randomly just played these numbers, which you didn't do on this date. So I get why the family are feeling that sense of entitlement because that's what families do, and that's not right. But it's when it comes to family and money and things like this, you do have to spell things out more clearly than people think because you think because it's family, you're just automatically going to share it, or people are automatically going to be on the same wavelength as you and what in terms of what they want to do when that obviously wasn't the case. I don't think he's the asshole. I don't know why he ran to tell them
This is
if
what I
he
was
really
gonna
did.
say, yeah. I would have wanted to keep it really, really quiet. I wouldn't have told a soul, although he did say, what is he gonna do? What will you say when people are like, oh my God, you just popped out and bought an apartment? Like, oh,
I think it's fine to say that he won the lottery, but to say that it was the lottery tickets that he played on his grandma's birthday using the family numbers, now you're just that's gonna definitely stir some feelings in people. If he just said, "Oh, I just randomly played the lottery like 2 days ago, the day after Grandma's birthday, and just chose the random numbers. But I guess they would have seen what the winning numbers were on that day and put two and two
Yeah,
together. So maybe, yeah, altogether he shouldn't have revealed that he won the lottery. But I don't know. It's kind of shit how they're all now kind of vilifying him for just doing what they've all done throughout the years. It's just that he happened to win.
exactly. But I would love to know if he had thought before. I know that there was no agreement before with the family to say that if someone wins, they split it, if they don't. But I would love to know what his thoughts on that was before actually winning and actually getting that big lump sum of money and how that
Yes.
changed it.
Yes, exactly. Because he might have had the intention to share it, or thought that he might have, on some level, thought that they were always going to share it, whoever won, even though
Exactly.
it's never explicitly said. But then when you are the person in the position who wins this lump sum and you can see how it's going to change your life, pay off your debts, buy a small apartment, and invest a bit, so protecting your future for a little while, then suddenly it changes your thought process and your decision making. And this links to Traitors, because I was asking my flatmates this when we were watching the finale. So, just really quickly, I'm not going to go into Traitors too deeply, but the finale of Traitors was this week. This was the first year where we had more than one traitor winning together,
Hmm.
right? I'm pretty sure that there's
Yeah.
two traitors, they took it to the end and they split the prize. But the way the finale played out, those two traitors had strategized together. They had made an agreement that they were never going to vote for each other, and that when it came to the finale, they had a whole plan of how they were going to knock out each faithful to get to a point where it's just the two of them standing around that pit, ready to share the money. There was a point where there were three of them left: Stephen, Rachel, and Jack. Stephen and Rachel were the traitors, Jack was the faithful. The way traitors work is that if there's any faithful left at the end, they don't get any of the money. If there's traitors left at the end, they steal the whole jackpot. And if it's more than one traitor, they split it. If it's just one traitor, the traitor takes the whole lot. Stephen, being one of the traitors, was somehow quite trusted by the group. Towards the end, they started suspecting Rachel a bit more, but throughout, Stephen had kind of mostly stayed under the radar. He did have a bit of heat at the start, but that's by the by. Jack, being the faithful, kind of a useless faithful, I'm going to be completely honest. He didn't really add or bring anything. He's just one of those people that they kept along to the end because he wasn't a threat to any of their gameplay. So Jack was suspecting Rachel heavily. Now, the three of them around the fire pit about to vote one more person out. Jack is going to vote out Rachel, definitely. He believes that Stephen is a faithful. He's trusted him throughout the whole game. Stephen has made a pact with Rachel to vote out Jack so that the two of the traitors are splitting the money at the end, £95,000. Stephen had made this promise, but being around this pit where he had the option to vote for Rachel and take the whole pot, £95,000, guaranteed that he would end up with that money, guaranteed. Because Jack was definitely going to vote for Rachel, and Rachel wasn't going to vote for Stephen because Jack was definitely going to vote. She knew that Jack was going to vote for her, so voting for Stephen would be a waste of time for her. They'd all just get one vote each. So I just found it so interesting that Stephen made that decision and didn't just vote for Rachel. That for me was like, when greed comes into play. So when you didn't think you were going to be faced with this kind of decision, and
Yeah.
then you have the opportunity to take the whole lot, what stops you from taking the whole lot?
Yeah.
And for
I
Stephen, it was, I guess, integrity and the promise that he'd made. But for a lot of people, like greed and seeing how that can impact your life is a lot more compelling than being like, oh, but I made a promise to someone.
to someone who was actually a stranger, like there isn't family ties like there is in
Right,
this dilemma from Reddit.
right.
But also I think with money specifically is that the things that flash before it makes you lose your mind. Like you
Mhm.
think about £95 and suddenly you're thinking of all the
Thousand,
things you can do and the 95
thousand.
£1,000, yeah, and all
Mm,
the you're thinking all of the things you can do, and it just your life and your future flashes before your eyes. So I see how
right.
actually people say money changes you, but with the Traitors specifically being one of the biggest shows in the UK,
Hmm.
he probably was also thinking ahead and thinking about his future and how the British public will see him and how favourable he'll be.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're watching this months after it was filmed So he wasn't seeing the public perception in real time.
Mm.
But they, having had how many series before them, they must know the implication of how you can come out and make a career and do
Mm.
pretty well. Same with other reality TV shows. Like
Yeah.
Nina from the Traitors, I don't know which series it was, maybe series two
No, no, I
or
think it's the
three,
one just before the Celebrity Traitors, right?
was it?
Maybe it is three. Yeah, it's the most recent one before the Celebrity Traitors, 'cause that was the first one I ever watched.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I loved her season, and she
She was
was
such
a
a
brilliant.
formidable traitor. Yeah, she smashed it.
Yeah,
But
and you
yeah, it's
can
true. Yeah, there are further opportunities that come from that, but you need to maintain some sort of public support.
exactly. And like even if we go back to Harry, a traitor who won alone, and how he was so strategic and he, you know, there was egg on his friend's face at the end because she
He
had trusted
completely
him
duped
to the
her.
end.
Yeah.
She duped her so badly, but he's still kind of people do look at him favorably because he was very strategic and he was smart and he was all of this and he never really made a promise, an explicit promise in the same way that
Mm,
they did. So he really just had to. I think he was thinking ahead and thinking about his
yeah.
future prospects and the audience's reaction to what he did.
Yeah, that's a really good point because, yeah, because Stephen made an explicit promise, one, and two, Rachel was seen as more of the strategic player who kind of did deserve her position more than Stephen. So I've seen people saying that Stephen kind of rode on her back or on her coattails, and so it would feel, I guess it on some level it might have seemed unjust that he steals it from under her feet at the end when she was so instrumental in getting him to that point and vice versa because yeah I think they both did that for each other, especially Stephen supporting Rachel more towards the end,
Yeah.
whereas Rachel was that more consistent player throughout the game. But yeah, that was a good and interesting one. Just to link it back to the am I the asshole again, you were talking about public perception having that support. He's dealing with his family,
Mm.
so he's willing to completely remain that villain in his family's eyes. I don't know, how long does it take for this kind of thing to dissipate? Like, how long until people stop thinking of you as the arrogant, greedy person who won the lottery off there? What did the auntie say? She made money off the family's back.
Yes. Well, they can't because anytime you come to his apartment and you're looking around and looking at all his nice things, every time he walks in and he's got Prada sunglasses or he's just come back, he's got a nice tan because he's been in the Dominican Republic or something. You're looking at him with actual disdain, jealousy, and disgust. Even if he does give out a couple grand to his cousin or his auntie that's struggling, it still doesn't mend the
Mhm.
wider issue and
Yeah,
the wider perception. So I don't think one of those things are something that can pass in time because you're always going
yeah.
to be reminded of it.
There's a little edit at the bottom just in response to this question. So a lot of people are asking, why did he tell them in the first place? And he said,
I love when they do edits at the bottom and just gives you that context because yeah, there's so much context that's missing with these things.
it's the same thing as what we were just saying now about the Beckhams. Take us the whole way. Take us the whole way. So he said, why did I tell them in the first place? I didn't see winning as creating any obligation to split the money. So it honestly didn't occur to me that not that telling them would be an issue. I told them out of transparency, not to tease or mislead anyone. At the time, I genuinely expected them to be happy that the tradition worked for once, not to see it as something I owed them. I would have told them regardless, even if the numbers had been completely random. Now, after this whole thing and reading some of the comments, I'm not so sure I would. That's naivety, mate. That's
Also,
naivety.
how much did you win? We're not going to rob you, but tell us how much you won because I want to get a clear idea of what
He's
we're talking
paying
about.
off debt, buying a small apartment, and investing a bit. We don't know where this person lives to say how much that apartment could be, but I think we're looking at hundreds of thousands here. No?
Yeah, I think so too. So it's not completely, what did he say? It's not going to completely change his life, but it's going to make it better.
I think he's being, do you know what? Having read that update, I think he's been a bit tight.
I think you're
I
an
think
arsehole,
I think
actually.
he's I think he's being a bit tight. I think he's within his rights to keep his lottery winnings. But I think he could, instead of being like, how much is that one debt? I'll pay that one, 2,000 debt. I think he can be like, okay, everyone take a modest sum of like 5,000 or something. I know that's small compared to what they would be expecting from the split, but that is just a gesture that he could do.
Yeah, but that opens up.
It's a fun family thing that they're doing together. Like you thought they'd all just be happy to be like, oh, the tradition went okay. Anyway, let me get back to my three jobs and trying to work down this debt that I've got and all my kids. Come on, be for real. They weren't ever gonna just be like, woo, the tradition worked. Okay, cool. You enjoy that. Be for real, man. Just like the parents are saying, where they said, no, he is right. Like it's true that he doesn't owe them anything, but it would just be nice. Like it would just avoid family conflict. You're gonna invest a bit anyway, so you're gonna make more on it on top of it. Give them 5K, let them all invest.
How many family members are we talking about that you can just be dashing out 5K to each person?
That's true.
I would talk to my immediate family, get the siblings round at my new
Mm.
apartment, put away my fine china and my designer bags that I bought, and just go,
So this
okay.
is so now you can't even enjoy it freely. Like what I don't know. Is it worth it, that extra bit?
But also sometimes as well with family and the way that they're so entitled. Okay, I give you 5K, and now Aunt Doris is saying, wow, you only gave me 5K.
That's
Someone else is
true.
saying her debt is actually 12K and you gave her 5K. Like, that's ridiculous. And
Yeah,
now
that's
this
true.
person's saying, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, I agree that he's not the asshole. He's not the asshole, but if you really wanted people to share in your joy, your next thing would have been, yeah, you don't, no one's gonna share in your joy of lottery winning if they're not getting any of it. If you told me that you won the lottery and then you didn't say, and I'm gonna give you 5,000 too, I'd be like, okay, that's really nice for you. That's really nice
Literally.
for you, and I'm happy for you. I want you to have a good life, but damn. Do you know what it is? It's not even entitlement. It's when you're so close to something that it feels
Yeah.
like it could have been you. So actually, I think for them, it's regret that they're feeling towards themselves.
Yeah,
Why didn't I do the family tradition that day and play those specific numbers on the grandma's birthday? I would have won it.
exactly.
Then you think because the person who did win is so close to you that you can get a piece of that pie, but why should you?
Exactly.
But yeah, in two minds of that one, on that one, in terms of how to approach it. But I do think that it's up to him how he spends his winning. He won it fair and square. There was no promise or no obligation, but it kind of seemed like they all had an unspoken expectation that they were. But who's to say that if any of them won,
They would do
they wouldn't? I reckon that these people who have debts and stuff would obviously want to clear themselves, get themselves in a good, comfortable position before even thinking about sharing things with anyone else. So,
completely agree.
yeah, he's gonna have made enemies for life because he couldn't keep his big mouth shut.
Now everyone is playing numbers recklessly. They're playing numbers every
Oh,
single week and
oh my
then
God, every day. When did you graduate? What's your birthday? What's your anniversary? Okay, every single day. When are you due? Gosh,
oh,
stress.
dear.
Do you have
Okay.
one?
Yeah, I've got one here. Am I the asshole for slapping my 8-year-old niece? My husband's niece, his sister's child.
So it's not even her niece. So you're just slapping some random child who's connected to you through marriage. Right.
Oh God, here she goes. Is really one of the most difficult, obnoxious people to be around. Whenever she's around, the atmosphere is different. Children are terrified and clinging on to their parents, and she basically just hits and throws tantrums. She's 8 though. Okay, she needs to grow up. We can all argue that she's an innocent child but needs help, and I agree with that. But that's 100% the parent's job to deal with, first and foremost, for their own child's sake if she's suffering. Christmas was no different. There are 9 children, and they're all cousins between a couple of months old and 10 years old. My other
Mhm.
sister-in-law, my husband's brother's wife, has a 2-month-old baby. Everyone was doting on the little girl when the 8-year-old punched her and she nervously laughed. This girl, man. I was holding the baby and I pushed her and told her to be careful with a newborn. She got very angry and kicked me twice on my shin. I slapped her very hard and told her how. She told her, how'd you like that? You think you're the only one who can hit people? Try hit me again and I will show you. She was in shock. She didn't even cry. On New Year's, she was quiet and didn't make any eye contact with me. No tantrums and no hitting children. Apparently, when my husband arrived, he told the children not to be scared of 8-year-old today because I was coming. Her parents are raging, still demanding I apologize to the girl. Maybe when hell freezes over.
Is that it?
That's it.
She's not the asshole. She's the hero. I'm not the asshole. I'm the asshole slapper. She's not the asshole. She's the asshole tamer. That 8-year-old girl is the asshole, and she learned her lesson.
Good.
Do you know what? I don't. My higher self doesn't condone hitting children. Of course not. Never. What the hell? Well, how could you inflict violence against a little child who's smaller than you and barely knows what's going on? Of course not. That's my higher self. The version of me that lives on the earth, on the ground, 2 feet planted, has been in primary schools, knows that some kids need a little tap now and then. Just all I'm saying is it worked. That's all I'm saying.
I just want to know, okay, when that 8-year-old girl punched the newborn square in the jaw, what did her parents do? Where
That's
are they?
antisocial behavior, Chid. When she starts dissecting the family pet, pulling it limb from limb, and then we see her in Netflix documentaries 20 years down the line, everyone will
Honestly,
wonder who did why no one hit her when she was
exactly.
punching newborn babies.
And the parents will be like, we didn't see any signs. We didn't see any signs. Every single year, she comes into the house and terrorizes the kids, the adults. How can you be kicking my shins while I'm holding a newborn baby that you just punched in the face?
Right, right. And sometimes I can't be held responsible for my reaction, for my reflex when
Yeah,
someone hits me. If someone kicks me, my hand, my elbow swings to land a slap on their face, then that seems to me a natural consequence. An 8-year-old child that just has a habit of kicking and punching kids, including newborns, terrorizing everyone to the point where to the point where even before the child arrives, her husband said to the kids, "Oh, no need to be scared of her today because every other day they're living in
they're
fear."
shaking. They're
Right.
shaking. And there's a 10-year-old in that mix, mind you. So the 8-year-old is terrorizing her elders. She doesn't
Wow.
have any boundaries. So yeah, you needed to slap her, and then you needed to follow it up with that warning of you're not the only one that can do this shit.
Right.
There's always going to be
Right.
someone bigger than you, badder than you, and they'll slap you in the face.
Right. Other people are willing to go there too. Just because you haven't felt that or seen that yet, let me teach you something about the world. And she learnt her lesson. So to be honest, if she got worse after that or if she was became very traumatized, fine. But she was like, "Oh, okay, it's not just me that can be doing hitting. Other
Mm,
people know how to hit."
exactly.
Ah, punching a newborn baby.
Where's mum and
Whoa.
dad? I'd love to know from this person. Where's mum and dad? And what did they say about all of this?
She's not the asshole. What are the people saying? What's the consensus in Reddit?
Well, everyone's saying not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole. Some are saying that it's traumatic for the 8-year-old. The post is actually tagged with trigger warning abuse.
Being that the 8-year-old is abusing everyone. I'm sure. I'm sure that's why that's tagged. No, some kids can be very, very evil, and there are people who you wonder if someone had gotten ahead of it earlier, could some of these behaviors been rectified before they became teenagers, before they became adults, before they became, because some people just throw their weight around in this world and no one says anything and they just believe that that's how life is. So props to this
Exactly.
lady. Yeah, props to this lady for having the bravery to get ahead of it. She said she slapped her very hard. A slap is a slap, right?
Mm,
A slap is very humiliating, and that is, yeah, you shouldn't slap children. I don't, as a blanket rule.
mm.
But she didn't punch her. She didn't throw her against the wall. She didn't, you know, slam her to the ground and kick her while she was down.
And she followed it up with words of this
Yeah.
is what happens. I don't even remember what she said, but it was a clear indication of listen, you're not the only one that can do this. It was a lesson.
Yeah.
There was a lesson in
Yeah.
there, not just some violence.
Yeah. Yeah, she framed it correctly so that the child understood exactly why that was happening. But boy, that's that's crazy. That is crazy. I would be fuming as the parent. Of course I would.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard lesson to learn at 8, but I had a lesson. Listen, we went toe to toe a couple times in our childhood growing up, sharing the
Mm.
same room. Sometimes you're gonna have physical altercations. And I'm
But
always the
yeah.
one that would start it, and you would let me know.
No, I tried to finish it, but I'd often get held back. Let's be
Yeah.
real. Let's be real about the way things actually went down. But I would escalate it. I remember sometimes, yeah, yeah. I can go into details about the things that actually ended up happening. Some of them were absolutely crazy. Thank God we're allowed to tell the tale because honestly.
Oh my God, so funny. But listen, lessons were learned, right?
Mm. Anyway, yeah, the theme for this week is family drama, it seems, and hopefully we do hear more from the Beckhams, and hopefully they do reconcile because, like we said, no one wins in the family feud. Oh, anything you wanted to put on speaker? Anything you're shouting out this week? Anything, any new products or things or ideas that you're loving and you want to share with the people?
Yes, I do actually have it. It's so boring. But I love it. This is so funny, like in terms of just showing you what my weeks have been recently, because I'm
Mm.
putting on speaker Lenore in wash scent boosters, specifically Gold Orchid. It smells amazing. My washing has been smelling absolutely fantastic, especially bed sheets and towels. I love putting it
Mm.
in there. You just put it in the drum and it just comes out smelling so good. So honestly, get me to the club next week because I don't know who this person is. It's giving Nara Smith and
Yeah, she's a homemaker. Okay, cool. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, it is boring, but I have been on the lookout for a good new detergent. I've started using that Eco Wash one. Is it called Eco Wash? The brand is like, it's very minimal design. I think it's called like Ecova or something like that. It's really good. It's really good, but it doesn't have any particular scent. I use the unscented one, so maybe I should also add some sort of scent booster to give that nice, fresh, lovely smell to my laundry. Gosh, the things that we have interest in at this age is crazy. No one ever warned us.
honestly, honestly. But I would like other people to put something on speaker for me. I want to know what the best Buzzball flavors are because right now I'm loving the blue one, and next week that's what I'm going to drink, the blue
Mm-hmm.
one.
Yep, same.
But I saw someone post a story. I'm so annoyed. I thought I screenshotted it, and it's the coolest flavors of Buzzballs that I've never seen before. So please go to your local off license and have a look at what's there because all I see is margarita, green one, strawberry eater. I don't see all these fun ones. Hers was like
What
passion.
ones? Oh, you haven't had the passion fruit one. Have you
Maybe
not
I
had the passion fruit
have.
one? I had the passion fruit one. I'm pretty sure we brought it to the cabin when we went. But next weekend for Alex's birthday, I'm definitely going to get the blue one, the passion fruit one, and I think this is my favorite too. I also quite like the mango chili, but I don't really like it before a night out because chili is
Too
it's a bit
spicy.
intense. Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely love to hear people's favorite buzz balls and some recommendations there.
Mm.
And I will get you the passion fruit one if you haven't tried it.
Yes, thank you. I think there's a grape one or something like that as well.
Oh, I have not seen this. And
Yeah.
it's definitely a British story that you saw. It wasn't someone who lives in America because they have all sorts of different flavors there.
Oh God, I'm sure they do, and I'm sure it's sweet and delicious and like
Yeah.
makes your tongue all sorts of colours. But I
Mm.
messaged her and said, "Where did you get it from?" She was like, "Old Kent Road." So I was just thinking, I don't know that I'm going all the way there.
Oh, very, very interesting. So we do have some fun ones here.
Exactly. We need to hunt them down.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from the people if they have good ones around them and which areas these are because I there is a certain distance that I will travel. I don't think it extends to Old Kent Road, but there is a distance.
Girl, if it does, then bring a backpack because you need to stock up and get me.
Okay, well, that's all for this week. We'll see you again next week. Like we said, put your comments in the episode below. If you're watching on Spotify, please comment on Spotify or YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Share with us what your thoughts are on that. Am I the assholes? Were they assholes? Did we get it completely wrong? And if you do have any good buzzball flavors around you, let us know and the rough areas so that we can we can get ourselves stocked up. And that's all for this week. We will see you next week. Follow us on at Stay on the Line Sis on Insta and TikTok. Okay.
Lovely.
Thanks everyone. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.